There's no red light on these, is there? That's the third one. That's the third clef. Okay. So the question was, why tune these things in G? So I keep looking at the camera. And well, basically, it doesn't have to be G. It could be any chord. But the reason for doing that is when you're using one of these things here, which is a brass slide, it makes it easier to accompany people. I think you can hear that chord there. So instead of forming chords as you normally would, which would involve a sort of arrangement of fingers, doesn't work because this is detuned. In various shapes and bars, this reason for using this brass one is it's quite heavy and metallic, and it gives quite a bit of sustain, because these guitars are quite punchy. Haven't got a lot of sustain, and if you give it a bit of a waggle, using a glass slide for a bit, but they're a bit lighter than this, and they don't give the sustain, and actually they break as well, which is the reason I've gone back to this one. I bought a replacement and broke that one in the ladies' underwear section of Marks and Spencer's. Don't know what I was doing there. Now this little fella here is an ordinary guitar. I'm still looking over there on a, but perhaps a closer eye line. This is an ordinary guitar. Tuned in an ordinary manner. Which is great for normal playing. As you can see, the fingers, my fingers are all over the place. So when I'm accompanying someone, I'm making chord shapes. And unlike the dobro, as you can see, because this is tuned normally, your fingers have to make very complicated shapes. And if I try and use this big brass slide, individual notes are fine. But if I try and make a chord, so it doesn't quite work as well as it does on the old tuned dobro. And there's a sort of slightly technical reason for tuning it in G. Well, why I like it in G is a lot of the there's quite a few of the notes are the same as the ordinary open tuning as this tuning. So it's not so unfamiliar when it comes to. Well, basically it doesn't have to be G, it could be any chord. But the reason for doing that is when you're using one of these things here, which is a brass slide, it makes it easier to accompany people. I think you can hear that chord there. So instead of forming chords as you normally would, which would involve a sort of arrangement of fingers, doesn't work because this is detuned. In various shapes and bars, this